You smiling or serious? I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to smile too.
What were those moments on set where you felt like a certified badass, or like, yeah, I am that guy and I'm doing this thing on the show here?
I mean, when you're in that sort of mindset, the mindset is I'm him. You know what I mean? Like that's the mindset, especially any sort of confrontations you have with Sinatra. You feel like I'm him. You know, like, because I need to shoot this woman. She's effing up my whole life. She done took out my best friend. She done took out the president, and I'm tired of her messing up my life. Then she took my daughter too at the end. I'm like, no. Anytime you see me with Sinatra or whatnot, I'm like, oh, I want to shoot you so bad, hard. I want to shoot you hard and shoot you back. So yeah.
Show like this, you hope it's all, yeah, it's big. Well, not really lucky, just like tremendously talented people. Oh yeah, good question. I learned I don't want to be the president, so that's one. Two, yeah, I really enjoyed playing this role that I never really thought in any other capacity that I would be really right for. I guess what I mean by that is I've never seen myself as fitting that mold of a sort of presidential figure. But he added such humanity and depth to this character in the writing that it was very easy for me to go there and bring some levity and some humor and some, like, you know, he's a broken human being and he's trying to put his one foot in front of the other in a lot of ways, and he's overwhelmed with the situation and the position, and I just found I thought that was a really interesting version of playing the president, basically.
Process. Script yet. I've not seen a single. I think Sterling's read a few. Dan's shared some ideas with me, but I haven't had like a full-on explanation of what it's like. Yeah.
Now that you know your character's arc in season 1, what are you kind of hoping for season 2?
Well, Dan said that we're going to hear more about like how Paradise came to be, and I'm really excited about exploring that, like what that took to sort of bring it to fruition and who she had to meet and deal with to get it to that place. So I'm excited to see what that's like. Yeah.
He's incredible. He has surpassed every expectation I have of a showrunner and a creator. You know, I have been a longtime fan since back when This Is Us. I've spoke about the fact that I wrote him a letter saying, I would do anything to be on your show. I'll bring you fuzzy socks. I'll warm your coffee, you know, whatever you want. And never heard from him. And then the next time I see him is in the audition room for Paradise. So it was a real full 360 moment. What I've learned about him is he is one of the most magnanimous, generous, hardworking people, and he's so talented. It's unfair how talented he is. Like, it's like his superpower. Yeah, and how has our relationship grown? We have each other's cell.
I don't need to write a letter anymore.
Yeah, I think it was interesting because Jane really presents one way in the first few episodes, and then suddenly we see behind the facade, and so it was interesting to play with, like, how much does she show, how much, you know, does she feel empathy, or is she just impersonating what she thinks that looks like? And it was really fun to play with, and I was also kind of learning from the rest of my cast and understanding where their characters were living and the world we were creating, and I think they were also incredibly helpful too.
Our story tells a really important message, which is that we only have one planet Earth, and it's our responsibility to take care of it. So we're observing every day. I mean, we live in Southern California, so we're watching what happens when we disrespect our planet. So my hope is that in a small way that this fictional TV show can influence what's happening in our real world so that we are more thoughtful, more sustainable in the ways in which we live our lives.